Matt, let go.
No, you let go.
Hey, Mr. Peanut, no, you don't. Don't do it, Mr. Peanut. No! Maybe he'll be all right. Maybe not.
Planters announced the tragic death of their mascot, Mr. Peanut, on January 22nd, 2020. The announcement came alongside a commercial showing Mr. Peanut sacrificing himself to save his friends, Wesley Snipes and Matt Walsh, after the Nutmobile they were in swerved off the road over a cliff. Why would Planters kill off their 104-year-old mascot? It was to give us just a nutty little taste of what they had in store for the Planters Super Bowl commercial, which was to air a little over a week after this. What exactly was this teaser teasing? We'll get to that later, but first, let's back up a bit. Why do teasers exist? Why does the marketing industry feel the need to cryptically preempt a commercial? Does the public really want a trailer for an ad? Let's unravel the mystery of Super Bowl teasers. For the world of advertising, the Super Bowl is the biggest stage of the year. Every year since 2010, over 100 million people have tuned in to the big game. And in 2010, a Nielsen survey found that 51% of people said they enjoyed the commercials more than the actual football. Because of this level of attention and eyeballs, the price tag is high. For the 2025 Super Bowl, a 30-second commercial costs $7 million. That's over $200,000 per second. With this price tag comes immense scrutiny. Agencies get cracking on Super Bowl briefs months and months in advance, if not a year in advance. Multiple teams are put onto these briefs, many rounds of feedback and revisions happen, and it all comes down to those 30 seconds on a Sunday night when millions of people are crowded around their TV. But what else is happening on that Sunday night? There are lots of other brands who have also paid quite a bit of money for those 30 seconds or 60 seconds or sometimes multiple spots throughout the night. People are at Super Bowl parties, distracted by friends and food and drinks. During the commercials is when people typically get up to go to the bathroom or refill their drinks. So yeah, this is the biggest stage of the year, but it's a pretty cluttered stage. Lots of chances for your spot and your brand to slip through the cracks or be overshadowed by something else. So companies started to think, how can we get more out of this huge expense? Let's stretch the life of this ad beyond those 30 seconds on Sunday night. While there are lots of ways to extend campaigns to other channels and make sure people are still talking about your ad after the Super Bowl, teasers popped up as an opportunity to capture that attention ahead of time, to get people to actively look for your ad on the big night. Doritos Crash the Super Bowl contest is a great example of this. They invite anyone to make a Doritos Super Bowl commercial, and it's a contest. Everyone submits, they release the finalists ahead of time, but you have to stay tuned during the big game to see which of those spots is the big winner. They're telling you to keep an eye out for their commercial in the sea of commercials you're going to watch that night. Brands are trying to capture as much pre-game attention as humanly possible because it's also known that the earlier your ad airs during the Super Bowl, the more effective it is. Nielsen's research shows that ads in the first quarter of the Super Bowl are better remembered and liked. Then as the game progresses, there's a very steep drop-off in brand recall and likability, with fourth quarter ads performing at a level close to the average of all television ads. So brands are essentially in a race to get that attention first. And they can do that by piquing curiosity. They give you a true teaser of what you'll see during the Super Bowl by giving you just a part of the story or a cliffhanger or a hint at which celebrity you're going to see, or a true incentive like a giveaway that you won't know how to enter until you see that Super Bowl spot. Teasers create a sense of FOMO. I'm going to miss out if I don't see what this commercial is going to be all about. I have to know which celebrity's hand that is that I saw in the teaser. Super Bowl commercials have such a good reputation for being funny, entertaining, and worth watching that teasers can actually make the public care. We can put out a trailer for an ad that makes the public want to watch that ad. That's wild. Brands know that teasers can capture that attention and get people to look for them during that big night. So they can work well, and they have worked well. For this episode of the podcast, I really wanted to find the first teaser. From just my own memory with zero research, I could only think of something I saw in 2018. So I knew I was going to need to do some digging. And the earliest one that I could personally find was from 2009. Because the further back you go, the harder it is to find any information online. But then my friend, the amazing David Greiner, sent me one from 1999. Progressive at the time was focused on auto insurance, and they had a Super Bowl commercial featuring E.T., even though E.T. had come out 17 years earlier. The spot shows E.T. returning to his home planet and telling the other extraterrestrials about the Earthlings and how they drive cars and get in accidents. But thankfully, there's Progressive to help them out. And the spot also had this social good component to it that had E.T. encouraging people to put on their seatbelts and buckle up. So leading up to the Super Bowl, Progressive released some teaser spots that hinted at E.T. being the big star. Finding these teasers online was extremely difficult. The site Adland apparently had them, but they sadly just shut down, so those links only went to 404 pages. I did find one 30-second spot that I'm pretty sure was a teaser because it shows E.T.'s shadow on the side of a car with the Progressive logo on it. So it's like a hint at E.T. being the star of this spot. There's also a video by the YouTube account Viewist that talks about this entire Progressive E.T. campaign. And he shows a few short spots in there that they had running leading up to the halftime show during the game. Things like people raising their hands in the air and you see E.T.'s little lit up finger. Another spot showed people in the stands passing some food along and E.T.'s hands grab it. But Progressive did more with this campaign outside of the Super Bowl commercial itself to drum up more buzz. The buckle up component still lives on to this day because they made and distributed free road signs. They have E.T.'s silhouette and they say, "Be progressive, buckle up." There's a site, Connecticut Museum Quest, that actually has a blog post that shows exactly where some of these signs are around the country. So does Progressive earn the title of the earliest Super Bowl teaser? I have no freaking clue. The more research I did, the less confident I became that I would ever find the earliest one, because anything earlier is just not well documented online. So if anyone out there worked on a teaser or knows of one even earlier than 1999, please let me know. I mentioned that the earliest one I had personally found was from 2009, and that one was from Bridgestone tires. I was able to find the actual 30-second Bridgestone spot fairly easily, but the teaser was much, much harder to find. Multiple sites had broken links, videos had been taken down, but I finally found a making of video that showed the copywriter, the art director, the film crew on set, and tucked at the very end of that video was the teaser itself. In this teaser, we see some guys racing down a road in a truck, and for some reason they have an orca in the truck with them. They abruptly stop on a dock. The whale's tail is flopping in the back of the truck, and then we see the teaser messaging, and it says, 3 friends, 1 whale. That's right, 1 whale. Find out what happens February 7th. Also in 2009 was a teaser and very unique follow-up from Miller High Life. Tynan on Instagram sent me this one, so thank you so much. In 2009, Anheuser-Busch was the only beer company to have ad space in the Super Bowl. So to counteract that, Miller decided to make fun of brands that feel the need to spend millions of dollars on ads. They released a spot a couple days before the Super Bowl with the High Life delivery man.
I don't care how big the game is. Who got $3 million? I tell you what, if High Life had a spot, all we need is a second.
Anheuser-Busch had an exclusivity deal, but that deal didn't include local ad buys. So Miller bought a 1-second ad space to air another commercial with the High Life delivery man.
High Life!
Did you miss it? It was only 1 second long. But that was all they needed. NBC did end up blocking the local ad buy from some major markets, but still, High Life sales the week after the Super Bowl increased by almost 9%. As the years went on, more and more brands started to follow suit and extend their campaigns outside of the big game itself. Some of the brands I saw repeatedly release teasers in the early 2010s were Audi, GoDaddy, Bud Light, Bridgestone again, M&M's, and Volkswagen, but there were certainly many more. So I wanted to go through a couple notable teaser campaigns from over the years. A very simple and silly one that was sent to me by Adnan on Instagram was from Denny's in 2010. The teaser shows a guy at a Denny's talking to camera, warning chickens to get out of town. We see chickens at various places watching this warning on TV, sitting on the couch at home, playing pool in a bar, normal chicken activities. And they're all very concerned seeing this warning on TV. But at the end, it says, if you want to know why this warning is being issued, you got to watch the game. The resulting spot was actually promoting their free Grand Slam day, which they said was a great day to be an American, but a bad one to be a chicken. In 2018, trailers came out for a new Crocodile Dundee movie starring Danny McBride as the son of the original Crocodile Dundee, and Chris Hemsworth as his sidekick of sorts, along with Margot Robbie, Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Liam Hemsworth, Ela Fisher, and many, many other famous Australians. These trailers showed up online and in actual movie theaters a few weeks before the Super Bowl. These were very convincing trailers. The cinematography, the script, the incredible list of actors, it was all extremely believable, and believe it is exactly what the public did. But then a different version of that trailer aired during the Super Bowl, and it was revealed that the entire thing was just an ad for Australia tourism. In the Super Bowl version of this trailer, Danny McBride starts to realize that Chris Hemsworth seems to just be taking him around and showing off all these incredible activities and views in Australia. And then he admits that, yes, this is an ad.
Wait, hold up. This isn't a movie.
No.
It's a tourism ad for Australia.
Yes. But listen, you're the best Crocodile Dundee since Crocodile Dundee.
Really?
Yes, really. And we had the best trip ever, didn't we?
It was pretty sweet.
While some people were disappointed that this movie wasn't real, I think a lot of people found the entire thing pretty funny and really enjoyed this silly reveal. So this is one of my favorite Super Bowl teasers. Okay, so we're back in 2020. Mr. Peanut is dead. Planters announced his untimely passing and said that they'd be paying respects during his funeral, which would air during the third quarter of the Super Bowl. At that funeral, Wesley Snipes is eulogizing Mr. Peanut, and Mr. Clean and the Kool-Aid Man are there crying over the loss of their mascot friend. Yeah. Kool-Aid Man's tears fall on the fresh dirt of Mr. Peanut's grave, and suddenly a plant sprouts, revealing Baby Nut. Mr. Peanut is back, but he was resurrected as a baby version of himself. And that was it. I honestly felt pretty disappointed by the follow-up on this. It seemed like they were just trying to capitalize on the Baby Yoda popularity at the time, but I just didn't care about Baby Nut at all. My favorite part of that entire campaign was Kool-Aid Man's sad, oh yeah, crying. It seems like the public didn't really love or hate this. It came in at number 23 on the USA Today ad meter. So killing off a mascot was an interesting form of a teaser, but the payoff just wasn't enough. Then there was the teaser that involved a very upset Tucker Carlson. In early 2022, M&M's refreshed the look of their spokes candies to make them more inclusive. That included putting the green M&M in sneakers instead of high, sexy boots, and the brown M&M in lower, chunkier heels. And here's what Tucker Carlson had to say about that.
M&M's will not be satisfied until every last cartoon character is deeply unappealing and totally androgynous. Until the moment you wouldn't want to have a drink with any one of them. That's the goal. When you're totally turned off, we've achieved equity. They've won.
Other right-wing, anti-woke dudes ranted about these changes online and showed the world how important the sexiness of cartoon characters is to them. Fast forward a year, January of 2023, M&M's announced that they'd be getting rid of those spokes candies. And the message they posted online said, "America, let's talk. In the last year, we've made some changes to our beloved spokes candies. We weren't sure if anyone would notice, and we definitely didn't think it would break the internet. But now we get it. Even a candy's shoes can be polarizing, which was the last thing M&M's wanted since we're all about bringing people together. Therefore, we have decided to take an indefinite pause from the spokes candies. In their place, we are proud to introduce a spokesperson America can agree on, the beloved Maya Rudolph. We are confident Miss Rudolph will champion the power of fun to create a world where everyone feels they belong. Because of the outrage surrounding the new look of the candies, a lot of people thought this announcement was totally real and a direct result of people like Tucker being big mad. People felt like M&M's was sort of bending the knee. But I think a lot of people in the ad industry clocked this as a Super Bowl shtick pretty quickly. The actual Super Bowl spots with Maya Rudolph had her renaming the candy to Maya's, and printing her own face on the candy instead of the M. And then eventually the spokes candies came back. I loved the teaser portion of this. It played right into the controversy and it felt convincing enough. But then the Maya Rudolph spots were just okay. And they came in at number 49 of 51 on the USA Today ad meter, so not super liked by the public either. And the last notable one I wanted to talk about was from last year, and that is Michael CeraVe. This teaser was perfectly executed. It was seeded on social, felt totally organic, and led up to a hilarious Super Bowl spot. Weeks before the Super Bowl, videos were posted online of people who had spotted Michael Cera in public doing some weird things with CeraVe products. Some people caught him at a drugstore writing his name on containers of CeraVe. He was seen handing out CeraVe products on the street. Influencers were sent boxes of CeraVe products with Michael Cera's face all over the packaging. And this rumor that he was the mastermind behind the skincare company started running wild. Michael Cera himself even fueled the rumors by being kind of weird about it when that topic came up in interviews. Now, a lot of this was obviously part of the stunt, with many paid partnerships involved here, but not everyone talking about this was paid. This conspiracy theory was silly but believable enough to keep everyone engaged and speculating. And then when the Super Bowl came around, we got to see what this entire thing was all about.
I'm Michael Cera, and I'm pleased to announce that this is my cream. CeraVe. Oh, you didn't know? Generosity. The truth has been hiding in plain sight. I am CeraVe.
The spot itself was Michael Cera waxing poetic about his passion for skin, and it was silly, and it was the exact kind of humor that works so well for Super Bowl ads. While it did come in at number 15 on the ad meter, many publications, especially ad industry ones, said that this was the best of the year. Before the Super Bowl, CeraVe earned over 15 billion impressions, and the whole campaign led to a 25% increase in sales. One of the best teaser campaigns out there. I have to admit, I initially resisted the whole teaser trend. Not because I doubted their effectiveness, but because they stole the magic away. The Super Bowl is like this sacred night for advertising where we're all experiencing the best ads of the year at the same time. And yes, I know how dramatic I sound right now. But to me, teasers and pre-released ads were undermining the magic and excitement of the night. I felt like these brands were stealing their own thunder. But these days, my stance has softened. Mostly because with stuff about advertising, I really need to do a deeper dive into these spots, and the teasers and pre-released ads give me extra time to watch and take notes and formulate my opinions. Watching everything on the night of got pretty chaotic as I'm trying to write down my opinions on something I just watched while trying to pay attention to the next commercial, all while battling the noise of the people at the party that I'm at. Teasers have made all of this just a much more relaxed experience for me. I asked people on my Instagram to share their opinions on teasers, and I got a lot of mixed ones. Eloisa shared my earlier sentiments, saying, I miss the time when the commercials were total surprises. Ryan hates them, saying they're typically a waste of time, and the ads that follow are rarely teaser-worthy. I definitely agree with that last part. I do feel like a lot of brands are getting kind of lazy with their Super Bowl ads, so they're just not as exciting as they used to be. Tina likened teasers to appetizers, saying they're like the mozzarella sticks of advertising. I love that analogy. Jordan said, hot take, the teaser is more important than the spot because it creates more long-tail potential. Carrie said, consumers don't care. Agencies do because they generate buzz, which equals awards, which equals new business. Definitely not wrong there. I actually asked my mom what she thought about Super Bowl teasers, and she said she hadn't seen any. But then my uncle said he loves Super Bowl teasers. So lots of mixed feelings out there. Looking at USA Today's ad meter from 2024, 9 of the top 10 commercials had some sort of teaser released ahead of time. But of course, correlation does not equal causation. Teasers were released for most of the 2024 spots, including ones that landed at the very bottom of the ad meter. There are a ton of factors that played a role in the success of these ads. Some used humor, some used the star power of likable celebrities. Others were emotional and tugged at our heartstrings. And campaigns that are built out enough to even have a teaser component are most likely from a very carefully crafted strategy, both for the creative and the media. So all of those things can lead to a commercial being well-liked, whether there's a teaser or not. Teasers are simply just one piece of a much larger, carefully orchestrated campaign. So teasers can definitely work, but not just because of the mere fact that you're giving people a hint at what's to come. There has to be an actual incentive to pay attention. Whether that intention comes from humor, emotion, celebrities, or free stuff, it's basically all the same guardrails as any other ad any other time of year. This year's batch of teasers are enlisting a lot of the same tools. Most of the ones that have already been released are focusing on celebrities. Bud Light's teaser has Post Malone and Shane Gillis showing up to someone's house with a case of beer. Stella Artois is bringing back David Beckham, and this time he's looking for his long-lost identical twin, the other David. Coffee Mate posted a teaser image of their new cold foam creamer bottle, and it's decked out in leopard print with a little cowboy hat on top. I think this is most likely hinting at Shania Twain being involved. GoDaddy's teaser features the actor Walton Goggins. You might recognize him most recently from Fallout. MSC Cruises teased a spot with Drew Barrymore and Orlando Bloom. Pringles posted a teaser image with cans that featured the silhouettes of 4 male celebrities, and 3 of those have been revealed so far, including Adam Brody, Nick Offerman, and James Harden. Taco Bell has one of my favorite teasers so far this year. I mentioned in a roundup a few weeks ago that Taco Bell has been hosting a drive-through photo booth, and they said that if you took pictures in this photo booth that you could potentially be featured in their Super Bowl spot. So the teaser they released shows people in this drive-through photo booth, and they're getting photobombed by Doja Cat. Doja desperately wants to be in this commercial, but Taco Bell is saying no famous people. I'm excited to see Doja back with Taco Bell, so I can't wait to see what this final spot actually is. One that's kind of celebrity adjacent is Instacart. Their teaser this year hints at some sort of advertising mascot extravaganza, but so far they've only shown the Old Spice guy, the Pillsbury Doughboy, and a Kraft Heinz wiener dog. Nostalgia has always been a pretty popular theme with Super Bowl spots, and this year it seems like Hellman's is going that direction, because their teaser hints at a possible tie-in with the movie When Harry Met Sally. I'm also interested to see what Reese's does. The agency Eric and Coleman is doing the work again this year, and last year their spot was the kind of Super Bowl commercial humor that I feel like has been missing for many years. Just silly, wacky, ridiculous humor. And this year's teaser shows a bride leaving the altar and running towards an erupting volcano. Obviously, as we get closer and closer to the big game, more teasers will be released, but it's all going to come down to the payoff. Will these spots be worthy of a teaser? Will the reveals be satisfying? Or are we going to be let down? Only time will tell. If you want to chat with me and other ad nerds during the Super Bowl, make sure you join my community internal review. I'm opening up a live chat space for all members, both free and paid, where we can all just be judgy together as the spots air. So head to stuffaboutatvertising.com to join the community, and also make sure you're following me on all the usual socials to stay up to date on Super Bowl news and more stuff about advertising.